Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, aka Mr. 8-Minute Video, so I can get more YouTube ads in it, and something has been itching away at the back of my mind. On Thursday I did a big video discussing all of the things in Loki that probably won't come true, and this included a lot of talking points. Amongst these were why the post-credit scene might just be a garbage timeline people get sent to and pruned, and also how Ravonna Renslayer may be a Loki variant. Lots of clickbait, however, one thing I said flippantly actually seems more and more likely the more I think about it. What if the big bad of the entire show has been hiding in plain sight this entire time, and it is possible that Miss Minutes may be the one controlling the TVA? Since saying it, I've had a lot of people reach out to me saying they agree, and Men's Health even did an article about it, so if it turns out to be untrue, then I'm gonna lose everything. My reputation, my house, everything, I'm gonna lose it. However, yeah, I think there might be a lot of characteristics that she portrays which could demonstrate exactly why she is the one pulling the strings. Now, just talking about things on a meta level, Miss Minutes is a brand new character that hasn't featured in the comics before. Because of this, her inclusion doesn't give anything away, and it's weird that they would invent a whole character just to have them basically do a PSA in episode 1 and a couple of lines in episode 2. Behind her vocal performance is Tara Strong, an A-lister when it comes to voice actors, and she's portrayed Harley Quinn, Batgirl, the Powerpuff Girls, and a lot of characters. She's a big name in the industry that I think most people will have heard of before, and it seems strange that they'd get her in to just do a couple of lines for what is seemingly an insignificant character. Now next we have to talk about what her role in the TVA is. I've been talking to Ryan Airy from Screen Crush about this, and yes, spoiler alert, we do actually get on well, which no doubt will confirm many fan theories that our listeners have. Now we've gone back and forth over the individual role of Miss Minutes and how she's central to the TVA restoring order amongst the chaos that is existence. In episode 1, Miss Minutes presents the introduction that details all the ins and outs of the Timekeepers, who we learn are machines simply put in place to keep up the facade. In the second entry, we see that she's very much been propped up to make sure that the variants follow her guidelines in order to ensure that the sacred timeline is kept in place. She clearly controls the messaging, the propaganda if you will, and in a fascist state, that is where the majority of power lies. The only way to have people follow a leader like they're a deity is to present them as one, and Miss Minutes is central to this messaging. The TVA themselves are all put in place to blindly follow orders, and we also see through Minutes that she can appear on any TV screen in the organisation or even upon people's desks if she needs to. The way that she works and the powers that she possesses is something that has a lot of question marks surrounding it, and at the moment we still have no clue exactly how she operates. Is she live streaming? Is she a recording that looks at people's responses after an event and edits herself to continue this loop of actions? We just don't know, but yeah, either way, something is off about her. She seems like a cute and cuddly character with a disarming southern accent, however there is a darker side to her. We get a hint towards this during episode 1 when we see a poster that says "Behave or you'll get your clock cleaned." This has an image of her stamping on someone, which is something that is often used in propaganda to present power. Those that step out of line and don't behave in the way that she wants them to are pruned, and the idea of her being powerful is clearly laced throughout this scene. Interestingly, in the episode before Loki joins the queue, they scan to see if he's a robot. We learn that those that are immediately wiped out, and this could be because a robot might have the capability to scan its environment and it would immediately see if the Timekeepers are mechanical or not. Being a machine herself, Miss Minutes would know this, so she would likely want to erase all possibility of a robot coming face to face with her right before the variants do for the first time. Now going beyond this, clocks are of course central to not only time, but the TVA itself. They are constantly watching over the timeline, and thus a clock being in charge of how time plays out makes a lot of sense on a symbolic level. Clocks of course mark time in a linear fashion, with everything flowing in one strict direction, thus her being behind it lines up a lot with the way that clocks work. The entire TVA city too looks like the inner workings of a clock, and there are a lot of gears and people all in their specific place so that overall the timeline can continue to move in a certain direction. We can also see on the elevator panel that there is a floor which goes directly to her, and this could be foreshadowing where the finale takes place. On top of this is the fact that the Timekeepers themselves are robots, and we know that she is connected to them in some way. Besides them, she's the only other power figure in the organisation, and the fact that they're Fugazi leaves her as the only thing left in a position to control things. Now every time I've told this theory to someone, they've either said, you son of a bitch, you've done it, or said that it sucks. I think this is because she's basically just a talking clock, and people want someone big like Kang the Conqueror. Whilst this is true, and I have been on board the Kang train myself, I'm just looking at the pieces that are currently on the board, and we have been introduced to Miss Minutes, whereas he's something that probably won't be in the show. Now, some big spoilers from one of the trailers going forward, so if you want to go into the upcoming episodes as blind as possible, then I highly recommend that you prune yourself from the timeline. Also, if you've enjoyed the theories, then the thumbs up is much appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for breakdowns on the show each and every week. Now, if you're still here, thank you for sticking with me, and staying in line with the Kang theory, it may be revealed that Minutes is actually an avatar for the villain. In either the 5th or 6th episode, we do know that Mobius heads out to Egypt, and fans of the comics will know this ties in heavily with Kang's backstory. Over the years, he's gone by many names, including Ramatut, which was his pseudonym when he reigned as a pharaoh in ancient Egypt. Nathaniel Richards, to give him his birth name, was born in the 30th century, however he ended up using a time machine to travel back to 2960 BC. Here he left several things, including a prophecy about Apocalypse, aka the first mutant, and he also took over a vast kingdom. Kang was able to do this with ease through his highly advanced technology, and it does make a lot of sense that Mobius would travel there to learn about him. Now overall, this would allow the show to have its main villain be presented in a certain way, without coming out and saying exactly who it is. If Miss Minutes is revealed to be the one behind it all, and then we get someone behind that, it does tease enough for the future without making it so that the audience who aren't aware of Kang aren't completely lost. They can still watch the show and see the seeds sown before the big reveal, and for me that makes the most sense, especially now we know how Marvel tend to set their villains up in these shows. Either way, there's a lot to talk about in this video, and if it turns out to be untrue, then I'm wiping everyone's memories who's watched this, so never bring it up again. Until then though, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these theories, so make sure you comment below and let me know. As a thank you for interacting with the video, you'll be entered into a prize draw on the 30th of July, in which we pick 3 people who get an MCU box set of their choice. All you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the theories. The winners of last month's competition are on screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at Heavy Spoilers. If you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our breakdown of those other theories, which will be linked on screen right now. Lot better than this video as I didn't do the editing for it, so definitely go and watch it and just have a great time seeing how many things I get wrong. Now with that out of the way, thank you for sitting through the video. I've been Paul, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.